As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, a NAC accredited with A grade, deemed to be university, and its centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, in association with the African Asian Rural Development Organization, Ordo, New Delhi, organize this weekly international webinar series on open source digital technology towards self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Today is 109th edition of the webinar series on very important topic, building enabling ecosystems for social enterprises. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, His Excellency the Secretary General Ordo, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of the Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome our guest speaker of the today's webinar, Madam Mary Banu. Good morning, Madam.
Namaste.
She is the Director of Center for Social Initiative and Management and Director Social Audit Network, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. I wish to inform the participant and the speaker that the university regularly conducts two webinar series, namely National Webinar Series on doubling farmers' income by 2022 and beyond. That is Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture, and every Thursday, and International Webinar Series on open source digital technologies towards self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, on every Saturday. Under this international webinar series, these two centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, have organized so far 108 lectures on very important topic. Let me quickly go through the topic title for better understanding. Open technologies to provision simple and economical IT infrastructure. A roadmap for students using free and open source software and reaching goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Open source software in an industrial IoTs for SMEs. Free and open source software adoption / business models. Open data platform for smart digital government. Technology imperatives, make in India for self-reliance. Data governance for self-reliant India. Digital India transforming governance and society. India's email service, citizen@indiamail.com in 22 constitutionally recognized languages are the need of the hour. Ecosystem architecture for digital transformation. Education system, critical, cyber critical infrastructure. Seizing opportunities in open innovation and value creation network in the digitalized world for self-reliant economy. Ensuring food safety and compliance through technology. Digital India, urgent need for semiconductor manufacturing in India. Technology investment in agriculture value chain, role of foreign direct investments. Entrepreneurship and skill development, AI design pathways. Rise of platform economy, revisiting value chain governance. Era of automation, industrial robotics and industry 4.0, Indo-German perspective of technology transfer, skill gap analysis and opportunities. Role of artificial intelligence in healthcare, current development in diagnosis and vaccine research. Digital agri-tech and agri-startup perspective. Health informatics network value chain, e-health system beyond. Leveraging emerging technologies for ensuring transparent and traceable agriculture and food supply chain. Unleash the power of citizen development for enterprises software development. E-governance models towards sustained quality service to citizen backed by technology. Indian MSME to adopt Industry 4.0 technology capabilities urgent need for mentorship and accelerator program. Building public digital platform using microservices and API. Health informatics network value chain, early childhood development and learning. Health informatics network value chain, clinical AI, clinical artificial intelligence, interface between machine learning and health informatics. Health informatics network value chain, importance of social medicine and community health in the times of health emergency. G filter, a simple low cost solution to the drinking water treatment in rural India. Open source GovTech startup empowering growth with automation. Digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. National Digital Twine Program, need for a robust geospatial infrastructure. Industry 4.0 in MSME, benefits of indigenously developed CollabCAD software from National Informatics Center. Mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade. Cyber security, risk challenges and solutions, intelligence approach to reduce cyber risk. New Internet IPv6 root server toward Atmanirbhar Connected Bharat. Indian startups, reflections on possible policy intervention needed for scaling up to Gram Panchayat. Blockchain and crypto for digital assets platform, pathways for global trade. Robot as a service, leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges. Space startups connecting to international market with the emerging business models. Enabling technology for future vision. Vivekananda Secondary Education and Skills Development Mega Project, its potential impact on rural entrepreneurship and rural economy in India. Sports Grail, a digital sports media platform on prospects of Indian sports industry sustainability model at global level. Pharma 4.0, Industry 4.0 applications to pharmaceutical manufacturing, path to a digital transformation, accelerate and scale non-linear growth through partner ecosystem, technological renaissance and the human capital a perspective, health informatics network value chain, medical outreach, challenges versus potential, beyond COVID-19, revitalizing micro and small enterprises, project management essentials, launchpad for future CEOs and startup founders beyond. Society 5.0, a new society beyond Industry 4.0 and post COVID-19. Smart village community African ICT oblique IoT lessons. Society 5.0, a new society beyond Industry 4.0 and post COVID-19. Smart village oblique community, the African ICT and IoT lessons. Digital economy, ways and means to protect and empower self-reliance. Pragmatic ways for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Democratization of essential services by using sustainable energy as a catalyst. Transforming India through relevant education and vocational training. Digital technology in simplifying citizen life. Online learning during the pandemic and its future. Smart microeconomic zone, pathway for self-reliance at village level. Crime prediction support system, knowledge management for development partnership to achieve the sustainable development goals of UN and implementing the Agenda 2030. Millet value chain from IoT to blockchain, a traceability roadmap. Aspirational district program in left-wing extremism affected district, a successful model of data-driven governance. Digital agriculture supply chain and trading hub, a geo-economic perspective. Market-driven agriculture, need for development of crop-specific strategies at block level. An open agri network to unlock $1 trillion plus potential of Indian agriculture with smallholder farmer by Mr. Anil Kumar, founder and group CEO, Samunati, Chennai. Developing rural entrepreneurship to ensure doubling of farmers' income. Leveraging the power of convergence through connecting the dots. Agri startups, agripreneurs, and rural innovators. Agronomy plus artificial intelligence is equal to precision farming. Doubling farmers' income, imperatives of plant health informatics network. developing commercial breadfruit value chain to help farmers reach high value markets. Commodity value chain creation through agri network and agri artificial intelligence. Farm to plate, a one-stop agri-tech platform to simplify supply chain and e-commerce needs of food and perishable commodities. Health Informatics Network Value Chain National Animal Disease Reporting System 2012 and beyond. Artificial Intelligence and Metaverse Frontiers in Workspace by Dr. Meera Venkat, President and CEO, Race Global, and Chairperson, Women Leadership Empowerment and Entrepreneurship Development, Bangalore. Coconut Value Chain Develop Challenges Transforming into Opportunities. Coffee Informatics Network Value Chain Facilitating Smallholder Coffee Farmers into Business. Health Informatics Network Value Chain Building of One Health Ecosystem. Role of Digital Architecture. Diversification of fish and fisheries resource management and its challenge in Bangladesh. Data mining and digital agriculture. Drone technology ecosystem. Empowering smallholder farmers in India. Fisheries Informatics Network Value Chain Business Plan for Fisheries Cooperatives to attract investors. Making urbanization work for the poor through new technologies. Disruptive technologies in precision agriculture. Strategy for total development of local areas with ICT. Digital economy, ways and means to protect and empower for self-reliance. Sustainability frameworks and standards for agriculture commodities. Global experience. We Mill, a social business initiative for rural women. E-governance in digital India, challenges and potential. Application of AI and digitization in agriculture and animal husbandry. Organic and natural farming, certification and way forward. Transformation through technology, pathways for industries to embrace digital, operational, and knowledge transformation for participating in global value chain. Health Informatics Network Value Chain, Digital Health Analytics leading to digital twine for better health care. Smart technologies, sustainably managing agriculture in remote trade. Empowering farmers to make agriculture profitable and sustainable. Indian becoming drone technologies global hub by 2030. Opportunities, challenges, and way forward. Regeneration and acceleration of agribusiness through digital transformation. Connect One, a connecting platform for empowering farming communities. Changing landscape of entrepreneurship in digital age by Dr. Kavita Shanmugam, co-founder and director Audit Practices. Creating shared value and being socially responsible. Agri-entrepreneurship and opportunity in India. Global era of Indian startups. Why? An overview. Biodegradable edible packaging for enhanced shelf life of perishable goods. Forces shaping future automotive. Forces shaping future automotive and farm products. Sustainability, innovation, and technology conversions. Accelerating digital adoption and data-driven, a rural cloud initiative. Kisan GPT to Bharat GPT, AI-driven transformation of India led by Agricultural Information Service. Today is the 109th edition. We'll have the talk by Madam Mary Banu, Director, Center for Social Initiative and Management, on a very important topic, building enabling ecosystem for social enterprises. India is said to be a land of villages. Acharya Vinoba Bhave said, India is largely an agriculture country and a country of villages. More than 6.25 lakh villages. Agriculture sector is the foundation of Indian economy. Agriculture is the main source of food, employment, and income for 70 to 80% of the people suffering from hunger in developing countries. Farmers of India are facing multi-dimensional problems: price fluctuation, debt, and lack of infrastructure and weather. Indian farming community comprises of 14.5 crores operational holdings, out of which 85% farmers have small and marginal size operational holdings. Farmer needs timely, location-specific, personalized information for effective control on their production, risk, and then market their produce to identify the market opportunities. Many national level programs such as Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, and have faced operational difficulties for its impact at farm level and farmer level, that too at small and marginal farmers. We have reforms towards reforms through digitalization of agricultural systems. I would like to quote recommendations of the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 Committee report, chaired by Dr. Ashok Dalwai. The report was submitted in 2018 to the Government of India, and I was closely associated with the during the formulation of this report, Volume 11 and Volume 12b. Volume 11 talks about empowering the farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination. And Volume 12b talks about digital technology in agriculture, which talks about 7 mission mode programs. If these mission mode programs are operationalized at the farm level, Indian agriculture system will be digitalized. And it also includes smart rainfed farming, smart irrigated farming, and smart tribal farming. India has got 1.45 lakh tribal villages, and Ministry of Tribal Affairs have announced that they have an ambitious plan of converting tribal villages as model tribal villages. Operationalization of Dr. Ashok Dalwai Committee report recommendations will facilitate implementation of smart tribal farming in 1.45 lakh tribal villages in the country. And and we also have Atmanirbhar programs, the road ahead. This is the vision of Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation based on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation. Based on 5 pillars: economy, quantum jump in economy; infrastructure, one that represents modern India; and system, 21st century technology driven; vibrant demography; and demand, whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. We have a Digital India program which is aiming at transforming India into a knowledge-based economy and a digitally empowered society. I have been closely associated since 1987 in digitalizing 512 districts in the country, and that time now it is now 770 districts. That program was District Information System of India, NIC, National Informatics Center. Then I was also closely associated with in preparing an IT blueprint for agriculture sector of India in 1995, 15 Informatics Network program. And then you have February 2019, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology published a report titled India's $1 trillion Digital Opportunity in collaboration with the McKinsey and the company, and the report identified 30 digital themes, if scaled up nationally, can accelerate India's progress in 9 key areas. Digital platform economy is emerging. Digital ecosystems are essential for digital transformation in digital world. Many technologies are making impact: AI, 5G, 6G, IoT, serverless computing, biometrics, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain, robotics, natural language processing, and quantum computing. We have a program, Amrit Kal, led up to 100. By 1947, India aims to become New India. And Indian Budget 2023-24 talks about Saptarishi principles, 7 principles: building digital public infrastructure, animal health programs and horticulture, clean plant programs, making India global hub for millets, setting up agriculture accelerator fund, targeted funding, setting up of widely available storage facilities. The digital public infrastructure for agriculture would be built on open source, open standard, and interoperable public good that would help farmer-centric solutions for crop planning. And it also supports that to revolutionize the agriculture sector by encouraging agri startups and natural farming. And we have 17 sustainable development goals based on food environment and energy and water. And we have 169 targets to be achieved. Agriculture, agroecological and sustainable agriculture is very important. And smart farming is another important area to be adopted. Agriculture 4.0 is emerging. It is the future of farming technology. Farms and agriculture operations will have to be run very differently due to advancement in technology such as sensors, devices, machines, and information technology. Future agriculture will use sophisticated technologies such as robots, temperature, moisture sensors, aerial images, and GPS technology. And we have an ecosystem in India: Industry 4.0, Society 5.0, and Agriculture 4.0. And in this webinar series, we had program on how to operationalize, how to use Prime Minister's Wi-Fi Access Network Interface PM-Moni program to develop entrepreneurship opportunities for small and micro businesses in agriculture. And then you also have in the agriculture food sector, micro and small and medium enterprises are key to tackling food security, meeting growing consumer demand, and reducing poverty through inclusive and sustainable development. Many schemes are available, MSME schemes for agriculture, inclusive development of entrepreneurs in agriculture, IDEA, initiative for development of entrepreneurs in agriculture, idea for northeastern region, marketing research and information network, which produced a market program in the country, development of agriculture marketing infrastructure, grading and standardization, Gramin Bandaran scheme, small farmers agribusiness consortium. The National Institute of MSME aims to promote sustainable, inclusive business opportunities for the rural poor through agribusiness and agro value chain development. It has focus on adding value to agriculture commodities across the value chain of economic transactions that links input providers, farmers, traders, processors, logic providers, distributors, retailers, and consumers. And the Soviet University of Engineering and Technology, deemed to be university, has been involved in developing digitalized agriculture value chain initiative by Soviet University Meerut, Fisheries Informatics Network value chain, Health Informatics Network value chain, Jackfruit Informatics Network value chain, One District, One Product Informatics Network value chain, Spices Informatics Network value chain, Dairy Informatics Network value chain, Breadfruit Informatics Network value chain, Coconut Informatics Network value chain, Banana Informatics Network value chain, Coffee Informatics Network value chain, Millet Informatics Network value chain, Lantana Camera Informatics Network value chain, Neem Products Informatics Network value chain, Mushroom Informatics Network value chain, Jaggery Informatics Network value chain. Micro enterprises are the keys to generate employment opportunities as well as income earning avenues to both the landless women and landholding people. Therefore, the poverty alleviation in semi-arid region requires a greater understanding of the interaction of agriculture and allied enterprises and their implications for the household economy. And we also to partner with partnership partnering to broaden rural broadband access and create high value services. Partnering to broaden rural broadband access and create high value services. We have a BharatNet, which is the world's largest rural broadband project, which is to provide broadband connectivity to all 2.5 lakh gram panchayat. And this facilitates establishing one agri-tech startup in every gram panchayat, 2.5 lakh gram panchayat, which are needed for scaling up to gram panchayat to facilitate digital transformation in 14.5 crore operational farm holdings in India. We need to have agro technology, agri-tech startups ecosystems which can be facilitated by building enabling ecosystem for social enterprises. Agriculture technology is a form of technological innovation encompassing data connected devices using information, communication technology, internet and artificial intelligence, agriculture biochemistry and biotechnology, innovative food and farming, farm robotics and automation, and smart warehousing and logistics. Establishing startups, agri MSME, networking with the Krishi Vigyan Kendras, and needed to tie with the technology companies and necessary to have a public policy on incubators, accelerators, micro entrepreneurs, and startups. And we also have various digitalized services for emerging agri-tech startups that brings in farm extension 4.0, agroclimatic advisory and good agriculture practices, capacity building, financial and insurance inclusion at the grassroots level, agri marketing and price forecast, non farm activities and agro services centers, farm planning and micro level planning, agro waste, agro warehousing and cold storage infrastructure, input dealers networking, irrigation extension, research extension, agriculture, horticulture, floriculture, sericulture, horticulture, jute culture, apiculture extension, livestock extension, and fisheries extension. Now you come to the topic building enabling ecosystem for social entrepreneurship. For the benefit of the participants, I will also like to give some introductory remarks on this. A social enterprise is an operator in the social economy whose main objective is to have a social impact rather than make a profit for their owners or shareholders. Social enterprises are businesses that trade to intentionally tackle social problems, improve communities, provide people access to employment and training, or help the environment. Social enterprises are inherently innovative organizations in that they use established business practices to achieve progressive, forward thinking goals. Social enterprise business models may fit into the following categories: community interest companies, community enterprises, and cooperatives and social firms. No social enterprise operates in a vacuum. Many interdependent systems, institutions, and networks enable social enterprises to flourish. Emerging trends in social entrepreneurship development, it is gaining significance as a societies. Entrepreneurship is gaining significance as societies and countries slowly realize the importance of small businesses and startups in robust development of economies. Meanwhile, entrepreneurship is essential in defining career paths as young people seek better rewards in exciting and creative roles than conventional and staid ones. Gregory Dees Gregory Dees, who is known as the father of social entrepreneurship education, states that social entrepreneurship acts as change agents by adopting a mission to create and sustain social values, not just private values, recognizing and relentlessly pursuing new opportunities to serve that mission, engaging in the process of continuous innovation, adaptation, and learning, acting boldly without being limited by resource currently in hand, and exhibiting heightened accountability to the constituencies served and for the outcome created. As per the synopsis of the guest speaker, solving problems in society has always been a challenge to mankind. Despite many interventions, there seems to be newer problems arising due to changing platform patterns in society. Governments and NGOs have been doing their best to solve these challenges, but yet there is an urgent need for an effective problem solving mechanism within the country. This I taken from their website. Shri P. N. Devarajan was a visionary and advocated for social entrepreneurship during the late 90s at a time when this was not much known in India. Center for Social Initiative and Management is offering courses in social entrepreneurship for employees in corporate houses to equip them with the tools needed to conceive and implement sustainable initiatives that enhance their business and social value within their organization. Social entrepreneurs are those exceptional individuals who dream up and take up responsibility for an innovative and untested idea for positive social change and usher that idea from dream into reality. This talk will emphasize the need for building enabling ecosystem for social enterprises, promote the concept of social entrepreneurship, and create professionals in the development sector. The language of social entrepreneurship may be new, but the phenomenon is not. Social entrepreneurs and agripreneurs are the need of the hour in India for rural India to shine, smile, and roar. The 5 centers of excellence of the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, namely Center for Agricultural Informatics, E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application, Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, Center for Health Informatics and Computing can play a leading role in continuous and improvement and expansion of CSIM platform. Smarter Tribal Farming, a pilot initiative for doubling farmers' income. In order to promote digital technology in agriculture, Smart Tribal Farming, as per Volume 12B of the Dr. Ashok Dalbai Committee report, the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, Dimtib University, have decided to initiate a pilot project on smart tribal farming millet in a cluster of 10 tribal villages, each in the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Union Territory of Jammu Kashmir, and Union Territory of Ladakh, in association with local NGO working in tribal areas. Discussions are going on with these NGOs for preparation and submission of the project proposal to the respective state tribal welfare. Development of social enterprises is required to make smart tribal farming pilot projects successful. With this background, let us now turn to the address by our guest speaker, Madam Mary Banu, Center for Social Initiative and Management and Social Audit Network, Tamil Nadu, on an important topic, building enabling ecosystem for social enterprises. This topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching over telecast through facebook.com/Soviet University India, youtube.com/Soviet University in, or linkedin.com/company Soviet University, Soviet-University for rejuvenation and acceleration of agricultural and rural transformation at village level, and also to establish 2.5 lakh tech startups, one per gram panchayat, in association with CSIM in the country. Social entrepreneurs are those exceptional individuals who dream up and take responsibility for an innovative and untested idea for positive social change and usher that idea from dream to reality. Let me introduce our guest speaker to the audience, Mr. Manish. Madam Mary Banu holds significant leadership roles in the social sector. She serves as the director of the Center for Social Initiative and Management, CSIM, in Chennai, where she plays a pivotal role in driving social initiatives and management practices. In addition, Mary serves as the director of Social Audit Network UK. SAN UK facilitates the exchange of information and experience among practitioners of social accounting and audit within the social economy and voluntary sector. Madam Mary Banu's expertise as a social auditor is recognized and accredited by both the Social Audit Network in India and Social Audit Network in the UK. As a member of Institute of Social Auditors India, SRO established by ICAI, and a recipient of certification from the prestigious National Institute of Securities Market, she exemplifies her dedication to the field, her commitment to promoting social return on investment and social value is further underscored by her accreditation as an SROI and social value trainer by Social Value International. Madam Mary Banu is the chief editor of Conversation Today, a registered monthly tabloid published by MSDS, the parent trust of CSIM, and actively contributes to the publication by writing articles and conducting interviews with inspiring personalities. The thought provoking articles featured in Conversations are compiled and published annually in a book titled Unsung Beacons, showcasing the remarkable stories and ideas shared within its pages. With a notable educational background, Madam Mary Banu holds a master's degree in business administration and human resources management, along with a postgraduate diploma in computer applications. Furthermore, she contributes her expertise as a valued member of Global CSR and Philanthropy Committee of Della Leaders Club, the world's first business platform. Madam Mary Banu's outstanding contribution to society have been recognized through prestigious awards. She was honored with Rex Karamveer Global Fellowship in 2014-15 and Karamveer Chakra Award, both of which are a global civilian honors bestowed by the International Confederation of NGOs in partnership with the United Nations. These accolades reflect her commendable work and a dedication to creating a positive impact in society. With this, I welcome Madam Mary Banu to this international webinar series on open source digital technology for self-reliant India to talk on building enabling ecosystem for social enterprises. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Very good morning to all the participants and the dignitaries here. It's a pleasure to be associated with Professor Moni and Shobhit University and ARDO. Yes, social entrepreneurship is what we are going to talk about, a little bit on innovation, the ecosystem, and how we are going to probably strive further to achieve our sustainable development goals through this initiative. With that, let us tell something about ourselves. That is the CSIM, which we are part of. Professor Moni was saying how it was envisioned by our founder, Sri P. N. Devarajan, in the year 1999. Sri P. N. Devarajan, after his retirement from Reliance Group of Companies as a senior vice president, he was, in fact, the advisor for Dhirubhai Ambani, which all of you all would definitely know about. Yeah, he was a visionary. So after his retirement, when he went and visited charitable organizations to engage in philanthropic work, he realized that these organizations, the only challenge they faced was sustainability. So they are all donor-driven, the orphanages or the homes or the any other NGO for that matter. The sustainability factor was a crucial issue which had to be plugged. So he thought, what do other organizations globally do? How do they address this issue? And the answer was social entrepreneurship. So he said, why isn't India capacitated to handle this particular component? And that's why he launched this particular project of Manav Seva Dharma Samvardhani Trust called CSIM, that is Center for Social Initiative and Management, where he focused on training charitable organizations as well as enabling social entrepreneurs for the entire ecosystem in different ways in which we could look at. So our vision focuses directly on having a world through social equitable world rather through social entrepreneurship, and our mission is to be a learning hub for social change agents and enabling them to implement their social change ideas. So we have our own values of the organization focusing on social consciousness, empathy, excellence, and continuous learning. So like Professor Moni said, we do have courses pan-India, online, short-term courses, one-year programs, college programs, where our core theme is communicate about this particular social entrepreneurship and the need for this particular vertical in our entire community. We're talking about the government initiatives. They're also come up now with a lot of entrepreneurial initiatives, SMEs. We've got a lot of central government programs where these social entrepreneurs and for-profit entrepreneurs are continuing to be supported. So what is social entrepreneurship? Yeah.
Can you some time on that 5 courses, which is slide which you showed in the previous one? Yeah, please.
Yes. Yeah. This PGDSIM, that is Postgraduate Diploma in Social Initiative and Management, is a one-year program where we have got 2 semesters and we have got different genre of participants here, from NGOs to researchers to CSR professionals coming and attending this program, where it's a combination of theory as well as experiential learning or field work. And they are also given a block placement for a month to work with an organization to understand the way of working in the not-for-profit sector. And we specialize them in training them in nuances in social entrepreneurship, media and communication, financial management, yeah, law related to the not-profit sector, human rights, and all these modules are covered, including the computer specialization on Tally and SPSS. The PGD SEM is another course which I had apparently launched in colleges, where we spoke more of enterprises. Here it was for not-for-profit majorly, PGD SIM, but PGD SEM was on enterprise management. This 4 month is a concise module where we have got effective management techniques, fund management or development, and a business plan, to be taught to the participants. Recently, we have come up with a social entrepreneurship outlook program on business with purpose, where we are targeting at for-profit enterprises. And associated with Shobhit, we're also looking at having how these smart tribal farming particular program could be blended in this particular course. Social Connect, as I told you, we go to colleges and we orient them on social entrepreneurship, and we take them on field visits so they understand the reality, the way the people live in the tribal areas or in the other disadvantaged communities, and we also give them opportunities to work with NGOs during the summer. The same the course is offered online as an ESEOP program. The SE Skill Lab is interesting, where we also incubate social entrepreneurs, enterprises as projects after their 40 hours of education, theoretical education plus experiential learning. So this is an overview of our programs. We tweak our program based on the needs of the participants and the organizations. In fact, beyond this, we also have programs focusing on vocational rehabilitation, de-addiction counseling. So all this is on a case-to-case basis, and we partner with the organization with like-minded ideas and values. So talking of social entrepreneurship, we're looking both from how it emerged in the global scenario, so the social and the historical context, and we are also looking at every opportunity that an entrepreneur could capture, yeah, to address that through innovative measures. For example, poverty or malnutrition or any healthcare issues or sanitation. You all would have heard of taking sanitation, pay and use toilets. It's a social enterprise. Sarvas, yeah, where you've got you also have Banka Bayalu. All these are for-profit social enterprises where a fee is charged for availing these sanitation facilities. So at the same time, we are addressing the social problem of sanitation and hygiene. At the same time, we are also raising money for sustainability. Likewise, malnutrition, providing food at a quality, good food quality at a nominal cost. We have Amma in the south, where just for a rupee you can get a meal. Yeah, so we are addressing. This is also an entrepreneurial model where you're getting some revenue, and the government is willing with some funds to match the expenses, as well as the beneficiary doesn't feel that he is given free of cost of food or he's below dignity to accept free food. So the dignity component is also being taken care. So these are small ideas how a social entrepreneur should look at, not only from the economic component, but also at the social and psychological aspects of the beneficiary population. So we all have organizations coming up with new models of enterprises. Yeah, they have their own way of working, their norms, the challenges, and how they overcome that. So when we look at social innovation, it is a big sector for each of us to venture in. We all know social entrepreneurs are risk takers. Yeah, so that is the added skill an entrepreneur has. He can just take a risk and he can look at exploring more and more opportunities till he say, okay, I'm going to move on and look at another vertical to work. So we have got different genres of social entrepreneurs. We have so recently I heard someone say parallel entrepreneur. I'm a parallel entrepreneur. I said I've heard of serial entrepreneurship. What is a parallel entrepreneur? So he said a serial entrepreneur is he'll start an enterprise, he'll let go, he'll start another one, he'll move on, he'll move on, he'll move on. But a parallel entrepreneur, he will not let go of what he started. He'll parallelly work on a different idea. He'll see that that is also being sustained and then move on to another parallel sort of a gamut. So in that way, he's maximizing his potential, maximizing his network, the possibilities he has, the revenue he can earn, and even the beneficiaries that he can target. See, every time we're looking at an entrepreneurial idea, we're looking at the social value we're trying to create, not just the shareholder wealth or the profit we can earn or to show in our trial balance. So that is what leads us to be something different than an ordinary entrepreneur. So there are dime a dozen entrepreneurs today. Everyone is coming up with their own innovative ways. But what makes a difference is a social entrepreneur focuses on the society primarily before he looks at how we could move on and how we can network and how we could make profit. Because the profit he makes is again plowed in back to the social enterprise, yeah, to maximize the social value that he is capitalizing. So when we look at social entrepreneurs, CSIM, our organization, we call ourselves as enablers. So we want more and more entrepreneurs to come in. We're now looking at intrapreneurs, where corporates or companies can look at having some entrepreneurial ideas within this same organization framework, where they could also come out with programs which would sustain on its own. That is called intrapreneurship. Yeah, we are also having a project called SAN India, or Social Audit Network India, where we create social auditors, we train them, capacitate them so that we are making the entire social space accountable for whatever they do. So everyone needs to account for what social action they are engaging in. So the social impact of social auditors, they all help the organizations to communicate the social impact that they have created through their own actions. We also train corporate social responsibility practitioners on the strategies or on the entire impact reports which they require. And we also have a team of SROI consultants. So we are monetizing the social impact which has gone on ground. Recently, we started the fellowship for farmers, where we are looking at giving a fellowship for natural farmers for a period of 3 years, so that this particular vertical is not ignored in the fast-moving pace, and everyone wants to come to the urban and have maximize the revenue and moving abroad and all that. We want our country, the core of our Indian economy is from agriculture, right? So we want that again to be recognized. So we are now having our fellowships transformed into having fellowships for natural farmers. So we have got courses on social entrepreneurship, training for social auditors and impact practitioners, and we've got 20 fellows already, including the three. It will become 23 now across India. This is about us. So looking at the big picture of social entrepreneurship, yeah, what is it that we want to happen? We can duplicate good lessons, good models across the globe. Now, with the virtual space, we can always Google and research new innovative methods to address a particular sector, if it is going to be health or education or anything to do with a disadvantage. We have got so much of reference points. We can duplicate it easily. But how many of these organizations who have done all this can communicate the challenges, the difficulties they faced, or the loss, or how they burnt their fingers investing? We don't find much, right? Or rather, any available. So, what is we need is just empower them, tell them how we could make each of these enterprises sustainable and how we could look at sustainable development in the larger segment. With the UN SDGs talking of sustainable development and having 17 goal settings, Niti Aayog having our own indicators, I think it will become easier for us to identify ourselves with the verticals listed there and work towards achieving these SDG goals by 2030. So again, as social entrepreneurs are looking at long-term development, yeah, and we're not limited by our mission. We need to serve people on a continuous mode. So we want collective wisdom against the for-profit entrepreneurs. So how are we going to envision this? It's only through sustainable business models. Yeah, there are dime dozen, many examples I can tell.
Madam, don't please spend some time. Please don't
Yeah.
rush through. No. Okay.
No, you were saying we have time till 12:30. That's why I
No,
was
no, no,
rushing.
no. It is up to 1 o'clock.
Okay, fine.
Uh,
Yeah. So we're talking of sustainable business model. There are many examples. I would like to talk about one particular sustainable business model, or rather focusing on agriculture segment that Shobhit is also now keen to take up, smart tribal farming. Here we're looking at how we could maximize the potential of the resources we have at hand, as well as have a scale out model where we can have people duplicate this or replicate this across borders. Yeah. So looking at how we could have sustainable business models, there are many research studies. There are many what do I say? Grants being given for TBIs, which where technical components are included, and that is also being a part of CSR funding now. So if anyone is interested to evolve a sustainable business model, look for grants. Yeah, you can look at CSR contributing to this particular vertical because they have got the Schedule 7 of CSR Act amended to provide funding for sustainable business models, specifically social enterprises. So when we're looking at the social sector, we're looking at the triple bottom line, the social, economic, and the environment. Then when we have the social sector, we are looking at primarily disadvantaged communities, the rural communities or the tribal ones or the tier 2, tier 3 cities or whatever gamut we're looking at. But when you're looking at the economic sector, again, we're looking at the poorest of the poor or the again the lower economic strata. And any program cannot be standalone. It has to be done in liaison with the local organizations of the local state government or the state central government. So when we have all this, we can definitely ensure sustainability because we are partnering with them, we're sharing knowledge and resources, we're also inviting partnership in way of human as well as monetary resources. So given this, we're looking at what schemes we have from the government, specifically in the line with agriculture. Sir was mentioning about your from Kisan Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Yojana, but we're talking of many, about 10 key schemes focusing on agriculture. The areas being water, organic farming, crop insurance, the modern storage facilities, the seed banks, then the focus on small and marginal farmers so that they could collectively come and see that they could make revenue out of this particular venture. And to meet the agriculture related expenses, which is actually quite a large amount because they have to hire technical equipments and all that, the government has also come out with the Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana where they could give funding to meet the agri-related expenses. And irrigation facilities, how we could maximize the water resources. That is also a project of the government where micro irrigation fund scheme is coming. And we're also looking at watershed management here. ENAM, I think everyone will be aware of, is Electronic National Agriculture Marketing Portal, where we're looking at organizations getting into the online sort of a marketing like eChopal and other variants. The Kisan Credit Card has been providing credit for farmers now. So people need have to borrow from the local money lenders with a high interest rate, pawning their jewelry or the household assets, and then not sure of the monsoon, how it's going to be predicted, and the revenue generated during harvest, they're not at loss. So they have this credit facilities from the government also being issued. And sustainable agriculture as a term says, we're looking at agriculture to be a productive and lucrative business. So where the second generation of farmers are now weaning away from the agriculture occupation, all these schemes are motivating them to continue and prevent rural to urban migration, which is actually the most crucial part of urban poverty, if we may define that, because they've got land, but they don't look at the value of the land they have, but they come into the urban, getting a remedial job, not having skills, and then some point in time, they're not having enough resources to sustain themselves. But whereas when they have land in their hometown, they could cultivate and they could see that their entire family could be sustained, and they could also employ people more. So that is agripreneurship, or having more people employed in your own enterprise, which is focused on agriculture. So when we look at agriculture, entrepreneurship, what is a common thread here? What is the common thread? How innovative we are, how we are looking at the opportunities we have at hand, how we could maximize the potential, what skills we can gather. Yeah, just not for the sake of prosperity and having more revenue, but for the sake of people. How we are going to be responsible individuals or socially responsible businesses. Yeah, to see that we have got all these societal problems are turned into opportunities and we're involving the community as actors to bring about social change. So that is the idea, or that is a vision for every social entrepreneur. Innovate, think big, yeah, and get into and involve the community people and see that you can bring about a change in whatever reach you have. So the innovation process covers 6 stages. It from the idea you generate. Some trigger must be there for you to start to work on a particular segment, right? Suppose I am having a passion to work for the tribal education. So that is my spark. So I target that. So when I have that idea generated, And then I develop a proposal. Then I look at prototypes, how I could have a pilot and see whether it is replicable. And then I sustain it by having enough networks. Yeah. And then once it is sustained, I scale out or I replicate it in other areas. So thereby, in the long-term run, I'm bringing about a systematic change. I'm going to be an icon or a role model for other players who want to again venture into the tribal areas or tribal development sectors. So you're not only doing good for one community, but you're also influencing your influencers for others to partner with you or to learn from you. So you please, as entrepreneurs, don't feel shy of sharing your challenges, your lessons learned, or you may call any difficulties, so that people need have to again burn their fingers to redo what all lessons you learned for them to understand. Because not only the time factor, but also the cost factor has to be borne in. Yeah, they're going to experiment on pilot project which you have failed. Why lose out on that opportunity? They rather invest on something else. So when we look at innovation, it is many of the innovative practices in the social space have been patented. So one such thing that I want to talk about is a calotropist revolution. We have got, of course, our founders of Fabog joining us in some time now, Mr. Ellen and Mr. Gauri Shankar. Before that, I'll give you a brief overview of what this calotropist revolution is about. This plant, how many of you all have seen it in your area? I guess we have participants across Asia and Africa. Yeah, this is a common shrub you find in India in the wastelands. Yeah, and we all think it is just a shrub. It's of no use. It's poisonous and all that. But an organization by name FABOG, Fabricating Organic Solutions, so the acronym is FABOG, they use this as a resource, yeah, for textile industry, and also as a medicinal value, as a pesticide. So see, this is innovation. So you're looking at social, economic, and environment, triple bottom line addressed through just one initiative of using this plant in the textile and agriculture sector. Yeah, it is a medicinal wasteland grown shrub, and there's no need of maintaining, no need for watering. It just grows wild. So they found that this particular yarn, which we get from the stem, yeah, it is an organic cotton. And when we grow cotton, especially organic, it's quite expensive to grow organic cotton today. And cotton, yes, they grow in black soil, so that soil component is also needs to be looked at. Water, we need rain fed, of course, but then we need at least some proportion of water to harvest the crop. But this one does not need all that. Yeah. So this particular, what do we say, the stem of this particular plant, the wool we get from there, the fiber we get from there, everything can be utilized for manufacturing textiles, and it is totally organic. And from this plant, again, natural dyes could be extracted, and the water residue is sorry,
Just 1 minute, madam. This is called Erukalai, isn't it?
Erikale. Yes,
Erukalai, yes.
Erikale.
Okay.
Yes. And so when we look at this, for the entire fabric produce, they use natural dyes. Yeah, the kadukai, that's one another raw material for dyeing. They use that for the entire. You can't say I'm having organic cotton and use chemical dyes. Yeah. So when talking about organic cotton, organic textiles, we are seeing that entire produce is from organic sources. So the raw material for dyeing again is from kadukai, another plant, a seed from a plant, and this particular residue which we get from this textile manufacturing, it is used as a medicine or like an antimicrobial sort of property it has got, so for disinfectant and all that. So how this entire thing happened? Yeah. So Gauri Shankar is here with us. Is he already here? It will be good to
Yeah,
hear.
Mr. Manish, can you put them on the foreground, Mr. Shankar?
He will tell you all how
Yeah.
this entire idea came. That's Mr. Gauri Shankar and Ellen. Hi, both.
Nice to meet
Namaste. Yeah. So it will be better to hear from you, Gauri Shankar and Ellen, about the
Just
entire
let
thought.
me
Yeah.
let me welcome them.
Yes,
Thank you
please.
very much, Mr. Gauri Shankar. And just 1 minute, let me appropriately understand the name. Madam Ellen,
Correct.
welcome. And I got a this text from Madam Mary Banu. If Shankar is the head, then Ellen is the backbone of the company.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Definitely.
she is born and raised in the young and forward-thinking country of Estonia. And in Europe, before settling down in India, her dedicated and courageous spirit got shaped up in the USA, the oldest direct sales company. She was the sales manager and top salesperson, working 15 hours per day, 6 days a week, every summer. During her first visit to India in 2015, she gave a vow to herself that all the fruits of her work shall now only go back to Mother Earth. And thank you very much. And I was born in a village which were flooded with this uh, botanical garden, Irkalai. This is Calotropis. And I'm very happy to have you in this very important webinar series. And I have been doing it. Today is the 109th webinar series edition on creating, enabling ecosystem for social entrepreneurs. And we were very, I met Madam during my visit to Chennai in the last week of April. And I was very happy to know the type of work she's doing it. I requested her to join and talk in this webinar series. And there are two webinar series we conduct. One is on National Webinar Series on doubling farmers' income by 2022. And another one is International Webinar Series on open source digital technologies to help agriculture development. And in association with African Asian Rural Development Organization, ORDO. The previous webinar we completed 113th edition, day before yesterday, and today this is 109th edition. So it is a very important topic, and I have been engaging Madam Banu in a very important project which you have taken, smart tribal farming, a cluster of 10 to 15 tribal villages in many states to adopt digitalization in the agricultural operations which they have, to mainstream their value chain as a digitalized value chain integrated with the global value chain. So this is where we thought that involving CSIM and also bring in social entrepreneurship, and based on for the commodities which are growing in tribal areas is very important. We welcome both of you, and we like to hear from you how
Thank you so
you
much.
are bringing in revolution. And I'm very happy that you put it as Calotropis revolution. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you so much for Banu Madam for inviting us to participate in this webinar. And it's a great pleasure to be here and to explain about our project. And just to start with, like I'm very thankful for this plan to showing the path for my for my search, basically. Like when I was working in fashion industry, I was working there for 12 years for high fashion industry, and I was like little more than disappointed when I left the industry, because like everything what I was doing was unsustainable. Like start with the dyes and processing of the cotton and the impact that it creates on our own land, and even considering my own village right now, the water body which is there, the water table is completely gone. It is not consumable anymore. So the thought of me after leaving the industry, I wanted to do something 100% sustainable. I don't want to contribute to this bigger game of business alone. So when I was, by working in the fashion industry, I understood like the hollow fibers have a very special place in the textile industry, like how we see cashmere fibers and alpaca fibers, and we are not big. India is not a big producer of cashmere or any kind of wool products. I mean, the more finer wool products like cashmere, which is really really appreciated in the European countries because of its hollowness and because of the warmth it can produce. The one thing that I was really I've been going across this plant for more than 31 years, but it never crossed my mind. And one day I was sitting out in my window. I was just looking at this plant, and the amount of life that this plant can provide in the driest season of the year in Viluppuram district, like it was providing up to the birds, it was providing the food, nectar, up till the sunbirds. So I was just really fascinated. I know the fact that the fiber is the fact that carries the seed very far away from the plant. So I knew that it has to be hollow. There was many researches which was done on this plant about the hollowness of the fiber and everything, but I was really surprised, like why nobody took it over and took it forward into more. But they always ended up, like the researchers ended up saying like, oh, it is not enough of fibers there. Uh, uh, Either the researcher was only focusing on the pod fibers, or they were focusing on only the stem fibers, or uh, some researchers were focusing on only the biological and the medicinal aspect of this plant and everything. I thought it could be a good opportunity for us, like to start researching more on this plant. So I started my research from there. And so first our focus was completely on the fiber side, how to get the fiber spinned and made into a yarn, to check the properties of the yarn and make it into a fabric and put it into the market. So when we started doing research and I was starting to read more about this plant, how this plant was used in olden days in agriculture. So for example, like when they're making the rice cultivation, this is one of the important plant. They do use it for preparing the land before the sowing. So they chop these plants and put it in the they make sure the water is there in the land and soak this plant in it, and they use a rotavator to mix this plant into the soil completely for 15 days. Like they do this process. When they do this process, what happens is like they're just not working for one season for the rice alone, but they're doing this for the next 3 seasons to come. For example, they finish the rice crops, and after the rice crop, they plant chilies, where the biggest issue right now chili farmers facing is this mosaic virus issue. Uh, that is completely destroying the chili farms these days. So when you do soak this plant in it for 15 days and use it for rice cultivation, after that they plant the chilies, there is no mosaic virus infestation at all. And after that second season, they plant cotton as a third season. That's how we used to do: first rice, and then the chili, and then the cotton. So we never used to have all these issues that we are facing with chili these days, and with cotton nematode issues we face these days. So it was the essential part of agriculture in olden days. And that's when I understood I wanted to explore more options on this, because obviously when I was collecting this plant, there was a lot of residue left, and I was not willing to put any chemical into this process to make sure that the water that we are getting has to be reusable, and it has to be beneficial to the ecosystem and everything. But of course, I thought this is still a problem. There is a lot of waste coming out of the process. So when we started with the pod fibers, so we had pod fibers until September, and then the pod fiber disappeared. So we had to change our way of thinking, and okay, let's start with the stem fibers, because there is enough researchers showing hands that the stem fibers could also be used. So it's not just we're having one fiber, we're having two fibers from this plant. So we started extracting the stem fibers from the plant, and we understood that we had a lot of liquid, the sap coming out of the plant, which we collected. And then we said, like, okay, let's try it out on different plants. And because there is a big evidence that shows that this plant has been used in olden days, and if this raw sap can be utilized in the agricultural sector. So luckily, I was very close to Oroville, which is a sustainable community here, and we had a lot of forward-thinking farmers who were willing to do these trials and everything on different crops. So our initial trials were done in Oroville when it comes to the insect repelling capability and antimicrobial and antiviral properties of this plant. So that's how we started our journey with the agricultural sector, and to provide this as a solution for farmers, which could be 10 times cheaper than any chemical alternatives that is available today. And And I think like by dividing the project in three different ways, it gave us more liberty and more flow of money to the company, and make it more sustainable as a whole project. Because otherwise, just collecting the fibers alone would not just make sense. When we divide the cost in such a way that, okay, some part of the work is going to be going for the fibers, some part of the work is going to go for the ARCA production. ARCA is the product that we give it as a solution right now to many farmers. So far, in the last 3 years, we managed to replace around 50 metric tons of pesticides with a team of 8 people, and that is almost like 2% of the entire consumption of Tamil Nadu in a year. We achieved that in 3 years. But considering the possibility and the numbers that I'm looking at, it's a very big opportunity for agriculture, because we're talking about sustainable agriculture. How are we going to achieve this sustainable agriculture without reducing the cost for the farmers? Because every single time the farmer goes spend thousands of rupees on per spray. For example, when it comes to rice crop, the farmer would spend nearly 1,500 rupees just for the chemicals to be bought from the shop, apart from the man hours and everything to spray per acre. So, but when it comes to our product, the farmer would hardly spend about 100 rupees per acre, whereas he saves about 900, average 900 rupees per acre. He saves it, which he can use it in his family. So, which financially is benefiting him. On top of it, we have seen, when it comes to rice crops, we have seen nearly 30% increase in the yield when they use our product. That was really surprising, and we started noticing difference in each crops. Every farmer started noticing their production is increased and their costs have dropped down. That is the only way we can actually like become sustainable in agriculture, because the olden ways of working with the manpower cost right now, it's highly impossible for farmers to achieve something like that. Some product, even for, we made sure even if the farmer tries to do this product, it has to be so cheaper than what farmer could actually invest and do on his own. So we priced it in such a way per liter of concentrate would be sold at 60 rupees for farmers. That is actually like making a real impact. Per acre of rice crop do require only 2 liters per spray. So he hardly spends any money. At the same time, he is benefiting it big time. And this plant, one thing that amazed me about this plant is like, this can grow anywhere without water. Basically, we don't need to use any kind of resource. Right now,
It was hard its own.
yeah, and every time you cut, it grows back. And the one amazing part is like that made me think like big about this plant is like right now we have vast amount of dry lands that are there in the semi-arid regions. Like where I'm coming from, it's Vellore, which is one of the driest in the southern India, where basically you can't grow anything without having a fence installed or a borewell installed to have electricity and everything. So in this kind of areas, it's very easy to grow this plant because the animals don't eat them, so we don't need to do fencing. So it's just we just need to figure out the cultivation methods and everything in these regions, and which there needs to be more research put on it. Of course, we are doing this research on our level. We got a small land. We are trying to do cultivate this in a smaller way to figure out the ways in which we can achieve this successfully, in the farm level. So I feel like in those kind of regions, without this kind of protection and the water source, which is a very huge investment for anybody to start cultivating in their land. So with this plan, we can tackle all of those. We don't even need to do all of those. We can start agriculture without even water. So that was like really, and once you plant it, you don't have to irrigate it back again. It can, the leaves dropping down on the soil will enrich the soil. So after 5 or 10 years of planting calotropes, you actually enrich the soil so much, the carbon content of the land increases so much, you can actually go back to the seasonal based agriculture. For example, like they call it the Manavari land in South India, where you can cultivate only once in a year, 3 months of the year. by intermixing this crop into the already existing Manaveri land agriculture, we can make sure farmers will have their earnings 12 months of the year, not just 3 months of the year. So this is a big change for farmer. Like right now, like most of the farmers, when they don't have work in the summertime, they tend to go to the urban areas to do a day job, to take small jobs to do that. But if they have an opportunity to work on that land and earn better than what they could go and get in a job, this could be a big opportunity for farmers to start. And we see this as a we see this plant as a real blessing for farmers. And at the same time, the amount of chemicals that it could replace by throwing away the pesticides, every farmer who comes to us, they always come with the first doubt. And when I talk with them about how his grandfather was using this plant, everyone had their memory that their grandfather was using this plant in their agriculture. But they lost it because it cost a lot to go to organize, have men do this specifically, to go cut it, bring it to the farm, to do the process of preparing the land for the rice and everything. It cost about 8,000-9,000 rupees. But when there is already someone doing this concentration and giving it to you as a solution, they don't need to do all of this process to get the same effect into their land. So this was like quite a balancing factor, like when it comes to our project, because there is high need of organic pesticides that are required in the market. And this is very well established organic pesticide that's been there in Ayurveda, and it's been used for medicine for eons, for several illnesses, starting from the fever, diarrhea, and skin diseases. This plant is widely used everywhere. And one more amazing factor that we found out about this plant is this is a very good mosquito repellent also. And we are right now doing a research on doing a product that can be applied on the body also from this plant. And we've been doing research on this for almost 2 years now. And we created a few products that can be already gone, or that can already go into the market. So we are seeing a bigger opportunity when it comes to this plant, that this could be a game changer for India, considering that even the government does not need to invest a lot on the infrastructure and facilitating this, because it can grow easily. And there is no carbon footprint because we don't need to pump out any water at all. And capturing carbon was one of our biggest goals. And each acre of there were previous researchers that was pointing out that each acre of calotropis that is cultivated in a 1 meter gap could capture about 4 tons of carbon per acre per year. So that is like huge, considering how much we need to change as a to become a carbon positive agriculture, not a carbon negative agriculture. Because see, even in many approved and agricultural practices, like the organic agricultural practices, they do use hydrogen peroxide. I don't know why it comes under even organic agriculture, because it's very wrong thing to use such a harmful chemical on the land, which is actually oxidizes the carbon from the land every single time when they use it. So, agriculture should always be a carbon positive agriculture. So we are looking at this aspect also, how much we can contribute and make this a carbon positive project, and we constantly work on it. And right now we are more on I would say we are more on a research stage, and we're still exploring the plant more, and because every time the plant surprises us. So it's always when that's what I understood. Like, I should allow the plant to show me what I need to know, like, rather than just exploiting the opportunity. I'm waiting for the plant to show, like, because after 5 years, it showed me that it can be a very good mosquito repellent. You can make a product that is DEET free, that can be used by humans instead of odomos and other chemical products that are available in the market, because the solutions are always coming from the nature. Even these big pharmaceutical companies and everyone, they are taking solutions from the nature. So it's amazing, like how, but with all this said, like I feel it is a very big. I feel it's a green gold of India. It's in some places we don't even need to plant it. Like it's everywhere. Like for example, deserts of Punjab, like in the borders of Punjab. This plant is. One of my friends showed me a video of him going down he's in a car and he's showing me kilometers and kilometers of this plant already there planted. So we need to figure out a way how to utilize this potential of this plant and mobilize this big movement that we are visioning. Like with a small team, if we can do this much, if the government of India, I can understand like why the government could be a little hesitant, because nobody explored it this far, and most of the researchers gave up on a particular stage because they see viability, financial, and the market and everything. But there are people who are willing to buy products made out of this plant. Brands are looking for sustainable product, and I would proudly say that we are the first company who are making money out of the effluent in the entire textile industry, because the whole textile industry pays to clean their effluent. They need to do their treatment plans, this, that, and everything to clean their effluent. But we actually get paid from the effluent. How amazing it would be, like if the entire industry could look at this plant in a different way, because it is an opportunity, and we need to remove these chemical pesticides out of the land. And it's now or never kind of a scenario that this generation is facing right now, because we already see a lot of diseases increasing because of the chemical pesticides. Cancer is increasing, and we have an entire train going from Punjab called the cancer train. And we need to look at things in an entirely different way. How can we provide solutions to the farmers rather than telling them to go organic? How can we make this an opportunity for all the farmers to flourish? So
maybe they have some questions in
Yeah.
between. There was a lot of different topics covered, and it was very like a nutshell.
I mean, like, I can go on about it like for hours,
Yeah.
because I really
It's very nice, Mr. Shankar. Let us also hear from Madam Ellen.
yes.
So when I came here to India, actually, I was not I didn't know what I'm gonna pursue in the future, but I knew what, like in introduction, it was said that it's gonna be something related with the land. And I guess why I gave this green light to this project, it was because like in the beginning already, yes, there was a fibers, but we saw that this plant can do some magic. And we are a little bit diverse company. One of our passions is to explore different fibers that are lost. In India, there is actually a book published that India had over 57 fibers that were used in textile that are now lost. One of those fibers was Calotropis fibers. And what we are most interested are the fibers that have textile value, but also it has the residue will not be just poured down, but the residue has another purpose that could be used for the agriculture. Because nature in general, it doesn't produce any waste. So if it's not wasted, it can be reused in very, very like good way. So there are people coming to us also asking to do some research on different plants like banana and so on. And the technique what we have developed for the extraction is quite unique, and it can be used for the different fiber extractions. Right now we do want to focus more on calotropis because we feel that we have not explored it fully. And so this, but we do have another fiber already in the pipeline that we thought to reveal maybe next year after we have done some samples out of it. So yes, when it comes to work, then mainly I am right now more on the textile side, and Shankar is more talking with the farmers and yeah, finding the solutions how to distribute the residue from whatever comes from the textiles to the farmers, because the proportion wise yeah, it's a lot of residue is coming out. The plant itself provides 2 to 3% of the fibers only, so all the rest of it, it's actually very potential residue.
Thank you very
Very
much. It is a
interesting.
very important material you presented. I thank Madam Mary Banu. I think, Madam, did you finish your presentation, or still you would like to have it?
I just want to
I
wind
will
up.
request both of you to stay back.
Sure.
Yes. So yes, because of time factor, I think Gauri Shankar
It's no
could have
problem.
spoken
Okay,
more
it's good
about
that I will, we'll extend by another 15 minutes. Nothing to worry about
no
it.
worries.
And it is, it's, I think it's the goal one is not visible. You go to the previous one.
Yeah,
I think it is.
yeah. I don't know why it is not visible. Okay.
Okay.
So I think consciously they've aligned with the SDGs, and that was one conscious effort every entrepreneur is now looking at, whether it's for profit or not for profit, but social entrepreneurial segment, aligning with the UN SDGs and seeing how we could ensure scalability and sustainability is a crucial component, and that's been brought out very well by the Fabog team. Only the three SDGs which has been excluded is focusing on probably the coming years. You may look at education for the farmers of for children or the farmers who are engaged in calotropis cultivation, energy using solar energy for your entire production process, and responsible consumption production also will come into the picture if you're looking at sustainable economies. So this is how an entrepreneur should envision. Yeah, I think he set a benchmark, and now people just have to see how they could take the traits of Gauri and Ellen and see other avenues which they could focus upon. So thank you so much for coming in at such a short notice and telling us more about your program. Very interesting to also share your stories in any forums that I am part of. Yeah. So we talk of this particular Veganol. He's trademarked it. You should mention about that, Gauri. You have trademarked your Veganol product. See, that is one step ahead now. We have patented it. And now, when it was presented in London in the Fabric Expo, I think it has really reached the hallmark of what we would have envisioned to happen. And in a very short time, you have achieved this. Congrats for that. So the innovation component is being attended to, sustainability standards, your again your visibility in the global market, and your entire thing has fallen in place. So we had the privilege of featuring Fabog in our paper. We have this monthly tabloid called Conversations, where we talk about social entrepreneurs, bureaucrats, change makers. Last month, we even featured Professor Moni in our celebrity chat column. This is a registered paper in India and published by a trust, Manav Seva Dharma
Madam, can
Samman.
you go to the previous slide? Previous slide. Can you just to show it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Please.
Yeah. So when we had this particular paper, we featured articles not only in India. We also have our partners in Singapore, in the UK, sharing stories of change. So if we have our other participants across Asia and African countries wanting us to write about the work you do in the social entrepreneurship space, please feel free to write to us, and we'll definitely feature your article in our paper. A new initiative of CSIM is the SDG Lab app. This is yet to be launched globally. At the moment, it is available in India. We are getting the permissions for having it launched globally. So this particular app, we have listed all the 17 SDGs. We have short videos on each of them being made, and we are coming out with suggestive actions for each of these SDGs. Yeah. So if how can I do a simple act of kindness to address one SDG of say poverty or education? That it's targeted for primarily college students, so that they could get to conscious sort of behavior, an activity, so that an individual, how they could be able to align with the UN SDGs in their day-to-day actions by posting journals of what actions they did, motivating others to be part of, tracking what activities they did, how many SDGs they are aligned with, reporting on it at the college level. This is a recent initiative of CSIM. So in India, if anyone, if you all want to be part of this particular initiative, you have an institution where you want to launch the SDG Lab app, then we can definitely look at partnership. We're also looking at future opportunities with Shobhit University as well as ARRDO, where we can have joint training programs, exchange learning programs, especially in Professor Moni's Smart Tribal Farming program. We've been asked to propose a social entrepreneurship module. So I think we'll definitely bring in a lot of resource persons like Gauri and Ellen to be part of this virtual lectures or physical lectures if feasible, so that there'll be more of experience sharing and not just rote learning. And with ARDO, we can also look at having joint training programs and scaling out our reach and exchanging information across borders. So with that, I think I would like to thank Professor Moni for this opportunity, and we look forward to more such interesting talks. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much. You can come out of from the presentation mode, madam.
Yes, yes, sir.
So thank you very much. It is a very nice presentation, and it is. I have been longing for such type of uh, presentation on that relevant topic for quite some time. That's why when you featured my article, and I thought that for the ongoing program of smart tribal farming, where we have taken a cluster of 10 to 15 tribal villages from Kanyakumari to Kashmir and from northeast to west, and to see that how digital technologies can be adopted in that to tribal agriculture. Tribal agriculture is a sustainable agriculture. And over a period, we have moved away from tribal agriculture, and we started doing everything under the scheme called the tribal sub-plan. The tribal sub-plan has supplanted them. And not even, that's why in the Doubling Farmers Income Committee report, where I was associated, that report is popularly known as Dr. Ashok Dalwai committee report on doubling farmers' income by 2022. I chaired volume 11 and volume 12B. Volume 12B is on digital technology in agriculture. Since I was, I have brought in my association with the digitalization process from 1987 onwards, and that time I was the project director for software development for computerization in 512 districts in 1987. And then to 95, I brought IT blueprint in agriculture, agricultural informatics network, 15 informatics network. And then after my retired as DG NIC, I joined this university, set up 5 centers of excellence. Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies is the first center in the world to have an use case in engineering college and technology adoption in agriculture sector. We launched a MTech level program in agricultural informatics, and to bring the engineering students, postgraduate students to get into agriculture, because agriculture is is a unstructured problem, and computer science, computer technology can be easily adoptable, and you can facilitate building up decision support system, where to grow, why not to grow, where not to grow, and so on and so forth. Since I was involved in these project programs, I thought that in order to, India is an agrarian economy, and we have got 450 agriculture commodities, 127 agroclimatic zone, 360 days of sunshine, and this can give lot of jobs to the boys and girls. And adoption of technology is important because of our education system. They thought that only agriculture university and ISAR institutes only should look after it, and they never reached 14.5 crore operational holders. 85% of the people are small and marginal farmers. I thought that information technology is the only way to reach them, and bringing the engineering students, 4,500 engineering colleges who teach computer science, 43,000 non-engineering college who teach computer science, bring those people to adopt agricultural use case and establish the Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Government Research Studies as a part of their computer science program. And if they can't work for agriculture, who else will work for? And if India is an agrarian economy, every higher education institution, be it IIT, be it IIM, be it NIT, be it IIIT, be it Central University, the first job should be research in agriculture operations. Then only do for something else. And that's the one which I have taken. Now I'm on a more in a mission on establishing one agri-tech startup in every gram panchayat. And then in order to promote I conduct the webinar series every week. And I'm very happy that this is, that your cultural piece, it is, I come from a village. I come from Kanyakumari district in Tamil Nadu, and I settled in Delhi for the last 45 years. We also initiated a lot of projects as a son of the soil. And we used to use it as whenever we get some pin, perked in our feet, put that drops from, this cultural piece. That's all. That is the medicine. And unfortunately, in villages, if a girl child is born, they give 2 drops of this milk, and the girl child dies in no time. That's what they used it in the villages. And I'm very happy today to hear from. We know that it has gotten, what you call this is good fiber, but at that time nobody thought about it. But I have a request to talk to the chairman and chairperson, future in this program. I have been voicing for, southern part of Tamil Nadu is flourishing with banana. And we generate $20 billion worth of agriculture waste in the country, and $19 billion worth of post harvest loss. And banana we grow to about 13 states, and every year we have to cut about 260 crore plant. Each plant can give, after cutting the fruit, 50 rupees. Sap, you said it's sap, which also get it from this caltropis. And, the banana also can give through the pseudo stem. And many other countries, they grow banana only for fiber. In Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Philippines, and they have come out with fine varieties of banana fiber. They mix with the cotton. So I, 4 or 5 years back, I thought that let us have a banana processing center and technology center in Kanyakumari. And it's now picking up. And now, since you have come out with that, why don't you have banana fiber and the Thalotropis fiber mixed together, bring out a new fabric, which can become a very important thing.
You're on mute. Gauri, you're
Hello?
on mute.
Okay.
You're on mute,
Hello?
Gauri.
Yeah, please unmute.
Oops.
Yeah, sorry.
Unmute
This is
now.
we just
by chance,
created
did you
this
have
banana fiber, which is actually spinnable. Like most of our researchers, like I heard a lot of people are researching in South India about this fiber, but none of them were successful. I was really
No,
surprised.
they are
And
not doing research.
yeah,
They are not doing research. They are using with the machine with extracting.
yes, but sir, that is the
You
problem.
go to Nepal. They are doing wonders. And Sri Lanka has, doing lot of fabric, cotton plus banana fiber. They are now captured international market.
Yes,
And
yes.
still we are trying to have missionary based, in Nepal, they cut the plant, then steam it. After steaming it, they extract the fiber and spinnable.
Spinnable fiber.
And spinnable. And in Philippines, they grow banana only for fiber. No, not for any other fruits. And so I will send you the approach paper and I will
Okay.
put it, and I'll be very happy, since you are based in Vellore, I'll be very happy to associate you in these various pilot projects, in bringing out value for farmers, which you said it, that throughout India this plant is available, but nobody knows what to do that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
its flower and its leaves and really everything is a medicinal value. And also you said organic pesticides, and we can promote it. I'm very happy under the Center for Agricultural Informatics, E-Government Research Studies, and also that now many we are also I'm supporting mentoring Center for Agricultural Informatics, E-Government Research Studies in the engineering colleges. One we have inaugurated in CAP Institute of Technology in Levanchipuram in Tirunelveli district. And then the concentration is banana fiber extraction, banana fiber production through international technology, what is adopted. Banana A grade fiber, even Century Mills in Mumbai wanted to buy it. And A grade fiber is necessary for even producing currency note. In many currency note are being made from banana fiber, which has a shelf life of 100 years. And it doesn't lose its shine.
Yeah.
And many important things. I will send you the paper which I prepared on banana value added products. And also this can be a game changer, what you said it, that we call it in Tamil irkalai, is it?
Yes. Yes.
Irkalai and caltropis. And these two things, it's very, very important. I'm very happy that Madam brought it. And we also initiated in order to promote smart tribal farming, and many places lands are available, but they don't know what to do. So this can be grown to give an immediate income generation.
Yes.
And doesn't need water, and it can bring in it's a climate smart agriculture, and it can grow on its own, like a lantana camera. Lantana camera is another commodity which can bring, it is a weed which creates lot of catastrophe for the commodities, but it also has commodity value and medicinal value, and it is it's growing on its own, like this caltropis, it grows on its own. So it is a very important thing, and I thankful to Madam Mary Banu to bring you. Let us work together to bring in this revolution. And in the pilot project of smart tribal farming, and I would like to hear, you also participate in our weekly meeting in Tamil Nadu. We have taken 4 districts. Jawad Hills, I think it's very near to Vellore.
Yeah.
And
We
they are
are
about
located in Oroville, so close to Oroville, where in Tindivanam district. It's very close to Kanyakumari. This
it
place.
is Jawad Hills is in
Tiruvannamalai.
Tiruvannamalai district.
Yeah, Tirunelveli district.
And then Coimbatore, we have taken Anaiketi and Karamadai, that area, tribal area. And the Tirunelveli district administration has asked me to help them in working with the Kani tribes, and also in Kanyakumari district. So 4 districts we are trying to, and Jawad Hills and and Coimbatore, we have formed groups, and the discussion is going on now. They will be in a position to write the project proposal within another 2 months time. So it is very important that this is operationalization of smart tribal farming component of Dr. Ashok Dalwai committee report. This is where I discussed with Madam how to bring in social entrepreneurship. Our idea is to how to train all the boys and girls of the tribal community, and get involved them in building, becoming an entrepreneur, and produce, like Madam Ellen said it, nature doesn't produce any waste. We will make them waste, and we will convert the natural resources available within the tribal community. And they face a serious problem because under many government schemes do not even go to the tribal area. And but tribal agriculture, when Madam published my article, I will send you that article to you. And that title is tribal agriculture is a sustainable agriculture. It needs to be digitalized and it has to be integrated with the global value chain. It's nutritional, food security, and so on and so forth. So it is very nice that to have your participation and also a detailed, research work which you have done it. Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology, deemed to be university, and these 5 centers of excellence also will work with you to bring in. This is the first university to have these 5 centers of excellence to promote technology in rural India. I wrote an article in 2004, Rural India to Shine and Smile and Roar through technologies in rural India. No boys and girls need to go to urban area for a job, which has been proved now. That's why I am instrumental in bringing out a new discipline called agricultural informatics. Nowhere existing it. And in our center, an MTech level program in agricultural informatics to train the boys and girls back to agriculture. If IT people have to come back from US and Europe, India can offer them a huge job in adoption of IT in agriculture sector. We to provide food to the whole world. We can produce food throughout the year, 365 days of sunshine, 127 agroclimatic zone. And this type of foods are not available, but we don't know how to produce it. And you said it very clearly that we can give an pesticide made out of caltropis for 60 rupees per acre, and it is carbon positive, and it is easily extractable, and we can train lot of boys and girls in Tirunelveli district, Dindigul district, Kanyakumari district, and Madurai district, entire Tamil Nadu, to extract these pesticides. Let us join with us. Let us do that. And let us, CSIM and the Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance, prepare social entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs. And this is going to be our strength. Thank you very much. And I would like to hear from final remarks from both from Madam Mary Banu and both chairperson and chairman. First, Madam Banu.
Thank you,
Then we'll
Professor
close the
Moni.
webinar.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Moni. I think it really did make an impact with Gauri and Ellen coming and sharing the first-hand experience on innovation, agriculture sector, and social entrepreneurship. Nothing like first-hand information. Yeah. Of course, we could research and give you theoretical sort of inputs, but that definitely added value to the entire webinar, and I want to acknowledge that. Saying that, moving forward, there are like Ellen and Gauri, many entrepreneurs that CSIM has groomed in the last 20 years, 23 years. Yeah. So if you want us to link with subject-based topics which our entrepreneurs are in, from disability to education to tribals, will definitely I would like to associate. And with the social entrepreneurship training which you're looking at, we'll definitely look at partnering with organizations like FABO and many one else to come and give their hands-on and even promote exchange learning. A group of people from the north who want to come and visit Ellen and Gauri's farm and see how the entire calotropis plant is being harvested and processed. I think that should be the next step of training. Just not giving them online lessons or giving them theoretical and case studies and people talking to them, but to go and see on ground how it is done. To seeing is believing. So they have to go and see how it is a simple process, but they have to know the nuances. So that is the next level of inputs, I think, which will definitely value add for the entire training program. Saying that, thank you so much again to all of you all for giving me.
Thank you. And over to Mr. Shankar and Madam Ellen.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I think we are very thankful for this plan, for guiding us through the process, and we are looking forward to work with you all and have a
with your permission, I will include you in all the model pilot project initiative we have taken for smart tribal farming.
Sure.
We have a weekly consultation programs, and please join and explain and also give your component, because this one can grow on its own, but it can make value out of it. And it also includes of the areas, 10 villages of our Honorable President of India. Her district also has been included, Mayurbhanch district of Odisha. So it is very important, and I'll be very happy if you can have time to discuss and bring this concept, and also bringing value addition, income generation, and also bringing in agriculture, the organic agriculture, pesticides for the agriculture operations, and it will be very nice. And thank you very much for participation. And it is a very important topic, building enabling ecosystem for social enterprises at the grassroots level. And with
Thank you
this,
so
I would like
much.
to thank our Honorable Chancellor, His Excellency, the Secretary General, African Asian Rural Development Organization, and the faculty members, the participants, the guest speakers, and the participants from both from India and abroad for joining this important international webinar series on open source digital technology for self-reliant India. Thank you very much. Let us see next week and the same time with a different topic. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
Thank
have a
you.
good day.
Thank you.